Office, Deputy, not Detective, I'm sorry, Deputy Michael Johnson. Let's give him a great round.
Hey, good morning. I've done a lot of these programs, and usually when I come in, I do the programs that people tell me, oh, well, there'll be 100 people there. When I get there, it's like 5 or 7 people. I got to tell you, you had your word. He told me you guys are going to be here, and once again, he was right with the money. He told me he was going to have a good turnout, and this is exactly what we had. We'll talk a little bit about internet security today. It's very funny because there's another device that also goes with the internet security that's not a part of your computer system. And everybody should have one of these things. It's about the size of a waste paper basket. It should be sitting right by your desk. I heard somebody already say what it was. A shredder. How many people in here do not own a shredder? If you do not own a shredder, raise your hand. Okay. Please get a shredder. Okay. Because a lot of times if you're on the internet, you might be conducting business or something like that. You'll print stuff and not thinking you might toss it in the trash. Well, I've been a police officer for 21 years. And when I first came out of the academy, I worked vice and I did some drug stuff. What we used to do is we would go to someone's house and take their garbage. Okay. If we thought that they were dealing drugs or something like that, we'd go and take their garbage. We'd bring their garbage to a center, have a table, dump the garbage on the table, go through the trash, and find everything that we needed. Their light bills, telephone bills, their banking statements, everything with social security numbers and very vital information we could pull up out of their trash. And believe me, if we're doing it, the bad guys are doing it too. Okay? People come and go through your trash. Invest in a shredder so that you can shred this stuff and you know your stuff is secure. Okay? Something also you want to remember on the internet, nothing's free. Nothing's free. It's probably one of the biggest scams that they have out there on the internet. If somebody sends you an email and they're telling you that you've just won this fabulous prize, you open it up, you go through it, it says you have to send them $120 taxes for these tickets to the Bahamas. A lot of people get real excited over that. And they send that $120 in and never get those tickets to Bahamas. It's a scam. It's a scam coming out of South Africa where they're trying to get you to invest in land and mines, stuff like that. People are actually sending money, thousands of dollars to these folks. And all they saw was on the computer screen. A lot of this stuff about this internet is common sense. It's what it is. It's just straight common sense. We're going to pass out some paperwork, and we're going to go over this paperwork, and we're going to break down the internet and some of the security features that hopefully everyone has on their computer.
I don't know.
Does everybody have one? If you don't have one, raise your hand, please. Have extras?
Have an extra. I'll take an extra.
An extra. We have some in the back.
Oh, okay.
Is that extra?
Everybody got one? Okay, everybody got one? You have one?
No.
You have extra?
Yes, I have one extra, Sheriff.
I'll take that one.
Okay.
Wax
Have
that on
one
you.
in the way for the council.
Okay, we're going to go over to talk a little bit about the history of the internet, where the internet came from. We'll talk about antivirus.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Software. We're going to talk about firewalls. We'll talk about spyware and anti-phishing protection, which is a big one. Okay. I'll start off reading, then we'll go over the different things. Then we'll pull up some stuff on the computer here. We'll go over some stuff and show you some things on the computer. Explosive growth of the internet. has meant that thousands of people are today experiencing the joys of being online for the first time. With growth, there always comes pain. Be in your growing pains as a child or growth and development of this part of our culture called the Internet. Firstly, we need to quickly explain what the Internet is and where it came from. The Internet is the offspring of a military project called ARPANET. ARPANET was designed to provide reliable communications during global nuclear war. A vast network of interconnected computers was set up all over the world to allow the various branches of the military, various branches of the U.S. and NATO forces to communicate with each other. Nuclear war never came, thankfully, and the world was left with a massive network of computers, all connected together with nothing to do. Colleges and universities started to use these computers for sharing research internationally. From there, it grew and spread outside colleges to local homes and businesses. The World Wide Web was born, and its father was a guy called Tim Berners-Lee.
Al Gore.
When you connected to the Internet, you're sharing a vast network of hundreds of millions of other users. This shared network provides resources that 15 years ago were never thought possible. Unfortunately, when something is shared, it's open to abuse. On the Internet, the abuse comes from hackers and virus creators. Their sole intent is to cause chaos or harm to your computer system and millions of other computer systems all around the world. How do you combat this? You need an internet security system. This might sound complicated, but your internet security system will be quite straightforward, being compromised of just 2 to 3 internet security products. We'll look at each one of these products in more detail now, starting with the antivirus software. The first and most critical element of our internet security system is antivirus software. If you don't have up-to-date antivirus software on your PC, does everybody have antivirus software on their PC?
Yeah.
Very important. Norton has a utility system that they use for antivirus, spyware, and virus. It's very good, and it's also very powerful. It will probably block just about everything that tries to open in your system and constantly send you up messages asking you if it's okay to allow this to either go out or come into your computer system. It's a very, very good software, okay? But it's also very powerful, all right? So sometimes it becomes a pain in the neck for that much security.
Much lower. Me, anyhow.
300 new viruses appear each month, and if you're not constantly protecting your system against the threat, your computer will become infected with at least one virus. It's only a matter of time. Now, let's skip down a little bit, and we're going to talk about a modem. Probably the most secure part of the Internet is that modem. If you have a wireless router in your house, that is a very good system, because through that router you can make your system invisible to the Internet. So folks cannot see you, okay? When you go into your system, I had a friend of mine, and what he would do is he would turn on his laptop. He would go into a strip shopping center, and he would walk down the strip shopping center until a signal came up. And when he got a strip signal that was strong enough, he'd go online, step into that store, and show them that their internet system was open, so someone could access the internet system. From that, a very well-trained computer person can hack into his computer system. Okay? That's why you have to keep those things closed. And those routers, you can actually disappear. You can be online, but a person cannot see you if they're looking for a signal strength to get onto the Internet. Kind of like this Wi-Fi stuff that they have floating around. okay? You can't see yourself